In today's topic we have the VILTROX 24mm F1.8 and I shot a lot with it on the island of Rab, Croatia, and I will share my experience of it, make an unboxing, make an in-depth review and check if this lens is made for your production. I got this lens straightly from VILTROX to make a review of it, but yes, I will be sharing my experience while using it and tell you what I like it and what I don't like it about it. Let me first tell you something interesting. In the actual today, you can't buy anything else rather than the 24mm f1.4 from Sigma or Sony. The Sigma variant is twice as much as money as that, and the Sony GM variant is 3 times much more expensive than this. And you can actually just opt for the 20mm f1.8 from Sony or the f2.8 from Sigma. That's also almost twice as expensive as this 1.8. So we have a market first 1.8 24mm aperture and we'll go straight diving into the specs and unboxing. The lens is presented in this white VILTROX box. Inside you will get the VILTROX 24mm lens with lens cap and plastic sunshade, instruction manual, warranty card and small pouch. The actual build material is metal throughout the body, but it keeps an overall relative low light weight of only 340 grams. So it will be really similar to the weight of the Sony FA 55mm and 35mm f1.8 that I use all the time, and basically an amazing companion when you switch lenses without actually rebalancing your gimbal. The lens is built around 11 elements in 9 groups, with a field of view of 84 degrees. The focus motor is pretty much a noiseless STM. The front filter thread is 55mm and aperture value goes from f1.8 to f16. You will be able to select the way you control the aperture. In auto, we will be controlling the lens like any other standard lens, and if you prefer this way of doing it, manually on the lens. The minimum focusing distance of this lens is 30 cm, so you can use it for some close object and get really amazing blurred background. One of the amazing features of any autofocus VILTROX lens is the possibility to upgrade it via the integrated USB-C port on the backside of the lens. So once you get a new update, you just connect it straight to your computer and upload the new firmware. Let's get to actual BTS and photos that I took on the island of Rab while shooting in various lighting conditions. Okay, so this lens, covering in quite 84 degrees, will likely be your main wide-angle lens, to get mostly establishing wide-angle shots but still maintaining a defocused background if you want it. I was mostly shooting at f1.8 to get an actual blur behind it. In certain cases you get some chromatic aberrations, but it's actually well controlled and most of the times unnoticeable. In some backlight situations it could be visible. The lens is quite sharp, but not the sharpest in the f1.8 aperture. Not that I have any complaints, but the Zeiss 55 and the Sony 35 that I'm filming right now is a little bit sharper than the VILTROX 24mm. I will zoom in some of the pictures so you can check for yourself. I was pretty much able to take all the shots intended, and I feel that for a standard usage I wouldn't need any wider lens than this. Sometimes I get the feel that the background is feeling a little buzzy blurry, with a not so much pleasant blur behind it. But it's the fact that there is no such of a blur if you stand more distant from the photographer's subject. It will be always a challenge catching a 2-year-old boy anyways to get a perfect shot. But it was fun. Okay, so now I will be switching from the Sony FA 35mm f1.8 that I am filming right now to the VILTROX 24mm f1.8 so you can understand the difference between different focal lengths and actually how this lens performs in my studio environment. Okay, so now we have the VILTROX 24mm mounted on my Sony a7 III, and you can understand the difference between the 35mm that we were filming all the review until now and the VILTROX 24mm filming in f1.8. Yes, it's a wider scene and all my softbox lights and my microphone are visible and also my legs in this scenario. This is just a test to check out how it looks. The actual surprise of this lens is the price, $429, and there is no actual matching competitor that should compare this lens at this price point in the market right now for Sony FE mount. Overall, I feel that this lens can add a lot if you still don't have any lens in this focal range on your lineup. It will be fairly bright, also for darker scenario shooting. Not the sharpest, not the widest aperture, but it packs a good amount of all to be recommended. For me it will be a keeper and it will be entering my collection for everyday shooting. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, I will be happy to answer all of them. And also you can check my other lens reviews that will be also linked in the description. Thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe with the bearing icon to get notified every time I make a new video, and see you on my next one.